Ms. Brown-Ramirez, you are here in court today because you say you're hoping to save your 10-year relationship with the defendant, Mr. Wayne.
Yes, Your Honor.
You state you have 3 children with him, but confess that your 9-month-old daughter may not be his biological child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Wayne, you argue that Ms. Brown-Ramirez has lied and deceived you throughout your relationship.
Yes,
you
Your Honor.
warn, if the results reveal you are not the father, you will walk away and never look back.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Brown-Ramirez, explain how this decade-long relationship has now become so toxic.
Well, Your Honor, every other day is a constant battle of whether or not I'm cheating, I'm lying, and I'm here because, you know, we have 3 kids, and I'm woman enough to be here and say that there's a possibility that my 9-month-old daughter is not Mr. Wayne's. I did lie to Mr. Wayne, but
man, since
he's
day one,
always
you've been
saying
lying
that
about
I'm
everything.
cheating,
You lied about
lying.
who you was.
Okay,
lied about
but
how many people.
I
lied about who she
honest about that, Your Honor.
Yeah. When I asked her about how many people she been
But
with
10
before
years,
me,
Your Honor, he knew this fact, and, you know, I didn't force him to stay in this relationship. He decided to stay.
So you were upset because she didn't openly admit how many sex partners she had had previously?
Your Honor, nobody
Your
is
Honor.
perfect.
Most women lie about how many sexual partners they've had in the
Your Honor.
past.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And they usually make the number smaller. And most men lie about
Right.
how many sexual partners they've had, and they usually make the number a little larger. So, did you think she was cheating on you throughout your relationship?
yes.
Every day, it
That's
was
right.
constantly, you're a liar, you're a cheater. Every name in the book you can think of, I was it.
So this has been a decade-long on and off relationship. Why'd you stay? Why do you continue to come back?
Exactly.
Because the whole reason me coming back to her while she was pregnant with my daughter, my first child, is a simple fact of me not ever having a dad.
You really want that family,
Yes.
that life you didn't have. You want to
Yes.
give that to your children.
Yes.
Right, and so do I, Your Honor, but every day constantly accusing me of cheating, accusing me of lying, saying that, oh, you doing this and you doing that. Why would you want to be in a relationship with somebody like that? It's not making
And
any
so
sense. It's not logical.
you do now admit, Ms. Brown-Ramirez, that you lied.
Yes, I do.
You did lie.
I did lie. But
And
I
now-
became honest with him and I told him. So it's not like he just has no idea up until this day.
Moving forward, let's get to the children. You have doubts about 2 children. I want to start with the 9-month-old first. Tell me exactly what happened as to why your 9-month-old is in question.
Well, Your Honor, we were separated in the month that I had conceived. And I was dealing with someone else. Being that I never had a father, I chose to go back to Mr. Wayne because I felt like he always manipulated me into being with him, saying, oh,
No,
you
you're
know,
just trying to take advantage of me. That's it.
you never had your daddy, you want your daughters to grow up to be like you, and I don't understand why, you know, you just want to go out and do this and do that, and, you know, you don't want a father for your children. But in all reality, I do.
Little
It's
do
just
you
the fact I can't
you the
deal with
reason
him
that I'm still
accusing
here.
me
You're the reason I'm
of
still here. Because look at you. Look
cheating,
how you turned
lying.
out.
10 years.
Look how you
That's
turned
in the
out.
past.
That's why I'm still here.
It's in the past.
Look how you
though.
turned
It's
out.
in the past. It's just a choice.
You think I want them girls
I
to
made
grow up
that
like
choice
you?
and I changed.
And so you were intimate with another man.
Right.
Did you
And
use
I expressed that to him.
protection
No, I
during
didn't.
this? You
At
did
that
not.
point, no, I did
Was it a one-time thing, or did
Nope.
you have a continuous
That one time I
relationship?
did not use protection.
And during the same time, you were intimate with Mr. Wayne.
Yes, Your Honor.
What point did you begin to realize that baby Aramis may not be Mr. Wayne's
Doing
biological
her
child?
thing.
When I got pregnant with her, when I first conceived.
So you knew instantly, when you found out you were pregnant, you knew at that
Yes,
moment.
I did, but I was scared. I didn't know how he would react based on the fact that in the past we had issues, and one day he say, "Oh, we'll work it out," and then 2 days later it's, "Oh, I don't want you. You a liar. You a cheater." I'm every name in the
Man,
book.
look, every
name
way
in
I
the
gotta
book.
look at your
Nobody
belly.
knows what I've been through.
I gotta look
with
at
this
your
man,
belly every
but
way.
me and him.
I'm trying
so
to sit there
therefore,
and rub
how
on
can
the
you
belly,
just
and I can't
say
even
that
rub on
I'm
it pridefully.
not who you want me to be, and I made that change to be with you. And now, oh, if she's not mine, I'm gonna walk away. But you've been in her life for the past 9 months. So how can you just say, I'm gonna walk away from a child that possibly is not mine? And you know, you've been there knowingly that she's probably not yours.
So, Mr. Wayne, how do you respond to that? Because truthfully, you know, I understand your doubt, first off, but I feel almost as if you're at war. You know, a part of you says, I want to be the father I never had, and I keep going back to this woman because I want to be there for the children. I want to create this family.
Yes,
and then, and the next breath, she says, you're calling her names.
Every day. Nobody knows but me and this man right here. Every day, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other, and I'm tired of it. I'm really, truly, honestly tired of it. If you don't want to be with me, don't be with me. You can still be there for your kids.
I'm not gonna deny
you don't
that.
have to be with me to have a relationship with your kids.
But on the same token, you trying to throw me all under the bus.
No,
right?
you trying to throw me under the bus like you Mr. Perfect, like you an angel. You ain't never did nothing. It takes two, not one. Two.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. So, Mr. Wayne, she's admitted that she's cheated. That's wrong. You've admitted you've cheated. That's wrong. You also say you want to create a family. You want to make things better. You want to have the family, the children to have the family you didn't. What I'm trying to understand is, if you want to do that, how can you do that and be verbally abusive to their mother? And I'm not saying your doubt isn't warranted, because you have a valid reason to be doubtful. And she's admitted that.
But if you don't want to be with me, just say that. You can still be there for your kids.
So, Mr. Wayne, throughout the pregnancy, were you there? Did you attend doctor's appointments? Were you supportive?
Yes, I was, Your Honor. And
you were?
Not even 5 minutes after I had her, he took her out of my arms and just, you know, they had a bond. You know what I mean? It was like they're inseparable at this point in time. And for him to constantly say that, oh, well, if she not mine, I'm gone. I'm not coming back. You chose to stay.
That's
Nobody
when I started
forced
to have
you. I
more
told you
doubts
plenty
of
of
her
times
being
you
mine.
could go.
And why?
The baby don't look like me. I'm real dark. She real light. I also have evidence right here to prove that.
You have.
Let me see that evidence. Jerome, would you pass that?
Her nose don't look like mine. Her eyebrows.
This is a picture of Aramis.
Yes.
On the left, and a picture of you.
Yes.
Is that your doubt expression? Okay. Moving forward, you don't feel like there's any physical similarity. You don't see it.
I mean, I guess
one day she does look like him, and one day she doesn't.
I'm still battling with it to this day, because it be points where I'm holding my baby and I'm like, you know, and she did say she probably not mine, and I started looking at her like, and it's kind of hard for me to be the father that I know I can be to the fullest potential without actually knowing for sure.
You know, despite the fact that you've said some pretty harsh things, it seems like this really hurts you, because I can see in your eyes when you talk about holding your baby and looking in her eyes and loving her, and yet always having to fight with that doubt. That's hurtful, right? Yeah. It's almost haunting, it seems like.
All the names I'm being called and everything that he says about me in front of my daughter is hurtful, because I have to look at her every day.
It's hurtful, and it's also your fault, though.
Now you're standing here, Mr. Wayne, and you're saying, if these children aren't yours, even though they look to you as their father, you ready to bounce on these kids, that you're gonna leave.
Right, and what kind of man does that make you?
You cheated, I found out about it. Hey, my baby already here, so I'm like, I'm trying to be in my baby life. So do I skate out, bounce out like a coward, like most people do? Do I bounce out, or do I try to strategize and come up with alternatives and stuff like that in order to keep me in these girls' life?
So, Miss Brown-Ramirez, in your heart of hearts, do you believe your daughter is Mr. Wayne's biological child?
Because honestly, I feel as if she looks identical to him and his siblings and his nieces and nephews. You know, they have very strong genes, and I see it in her. Every day that I look into her eyes, that is what I see. And for him to just call me all these names in front of her, it hurts deeply. Nobody seems
But
to
in your
understand
statement to the
that-
court, ma'am, you said that during that time, you did sleep with more than one man.
Other than Mr. Wayne, yes, it was one other person.
One other person.
One other person.
And you think that the date of conception, you did the calculation, it leads back to the other man.
Correct, Your Honor.
And she told me this, so why wouldn't I have doubt?
She was honest with you about the dates and the.
After me
Hey, Your
grilling
Honor.
her.
How did
arguing
those
about the
dates
fact.
add up?
I did my research.
That's
And
it
I
here.
came up
Jerome,
with the
please let me see
conception
this. This is the research you did concerning the window of conception.
Correct, Your Honor.
Thank you, Jerome. You were able, through this app, to determine the window of the conception.
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you intimate with the other man during that window of conception?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yep, because we were separated.
Okay.
We were separated and still
And
kicking
how
it.
about Mr. Wayne?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you intimate with him during those days, that week as well?
It was about a week after.
You know, it's obvious your concern is that the evidence, as you did your research and did the calculation, it points to the other man.
Yes, Your Honor.
And your fear is that your whole family is going to be destroyed because of your mistake.
Yes, Your Honor.
It ain't like we already like. It ain't like we not separated, you know. But if you know any of them come back not to be mine, then it will be zero coming back. Like nothing. Like nothing.
Well, I think it's time for the results. Jerome?
Your Honor, she also has a 4-year-old boy that I also doubt due to once again her own confessions, her own mouth.
Right, my own
So you
confession.
not only doubt the 9-month-old,
My 4-year-old.
you also doubt the 4-year-old is yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
But he didn't start doubting my 4-year-old until I told him about my 9-month-old.
Mr. Wayne, Ms. Brown-Ramirez, respectfully, I'd like to get into that after we get these results, and then I will most certainly hear testimony concerning the 4-year-old, okay? Are we ready for these results?
Yes, Your Honor.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Brown-Ramirez v. Wayne, when it comes to 9-month-old Aramis Wayne, Mr. Wayne, it has been determined by this court that you are her father.
Thank you. That's all I wanted.
One wait. That's one wait.
And that's why I'm here. To give you your answers and your proof. To show you that you don't have to mistreat me.
And I'm already starting to respect you a little bit more because of it, because I just found out some good news.
Now that you know the doubts that haunt you,
Yeah, it's over. It's over. Where's
it's
she at?
done.
Right, and I'm hoping that from this day forth, I'm not every name in the book, and I'm not a cheater, and I'm not a liar.
Mr. Wayne, you gotta stop being verbally abusive. You gotta stop the name calling.
In front of my
And
kids, though.
I need you to understand this. This is the mother of your child. At least we've established with this 9-month-old. You are her father.
It's all a learning experience.
Listen,
I'm still
I know
learning.
this isn't gonna be overnight. And the reason why I know it's not gonna be overnight is because we still have another situation to deal with. So I understand there are still doubts concerning the paternity of your 4-year-old. And I have those results as well. Jerome, the envelope. This is something that's very serious and it continues to affect your family as well. I would like to read these results to you in my chambers because I have something I need to say to the both of you. I'll meet you there. Court is adjourned. So, I have the results concerning your 4-year-old child. You doubt whether or not you're the biological father, and I wanted to read them here in my chambers. You know, there has been such an incredible lack of trust in this relationship. It has led to not just verbal abuse, but just the breaking down of a family, and you all not being able to just see more than 2 feet in front of you what the future will hold. And I want that resolved once and for all. In the case of Brown-Ramirez versus Wayne, when it comes to 4-year-old Aramis Wayne Jr. Mr. Wayne, you are his father, okay?
I never had a doubt in my mind about my 4-year-old.
Ms. Davis, you say that after a rocky marriage and nearly 15-year separation, you reconnected with your ex-husband 3 years ago. You say Mr. Simpson is now denying he is your 2-year-old daughter Elizabeth's father, and you intend to prove paternity today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Simpson, you say that your ex-wife cheated on you multiple times and is incapable of being faithful. You say there is no way you are her daughter's father, and today's DNA test will prove your case. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Davis, what do you have to say about Mr. Simpson's assertion that you are incapable of being faithful?
Your Honor, I think it's ludicrous. He's being an idiot. I know that she is his, and I'm tired of our past coming into play.
Excuse me, Your Honor, for a fact, I've known 11 times that she's cheated in her previous relationships.
11 times?
Yes, ma'am. And
She's cheated in your previous relationship?
previous relationships, yes.
11.
And, yes. And that's just
What
it was counted.
happened?
We were married 15 years ago. And she tells me after I get off work to stay in the house. She got somebody that come and visit her. Okay. I stay in the house. Somebody pulls in my driveway. I walk out and she's in the car making out with these people.
In front of your house?
Yes.
And you're inside?
Yes.
So, Miss Davis, have you been that busy? Did you cheat on your husband 11 times?
No, I did not, but yes, I did cheat on him. We were married when I was 16 years old. I was just a kid.
Okay.
So, but every time I cheated, I was honest with him. So I never lied to him.
Oh, so you cheated and told the truth.
And told the truth about it, yes. And we were only together for about 9 months, and then
Yep.
we split up.
Your Honor, I'm at work and she's home packing up her clothes. As soon as I come in, she's leaving with another man.
So you on your way home and she's on her way out.
Yes, ma'am.
What made you take your wife back after she cheated on you 11 times? Did you feel like she had changed?
Yes, she had kids with other guys after we separated.
You felt like motherhood had matured her.
Yes, as it would any woman.
Okay.
But there's a lot of coincidences, the same as before, that she's going out, sitting in cars middle of the night, and I get family and friends telling me that she's bringing guys in my house all the time.
So wait,
I'm
this
gone.
is the second time around you say the coincidences and all of the stories are still the same.
Yes.
But it's true, you did reconnect.
Yes, ma'am.
And you all started to have a sexual relationship again.
Well, yes, technically, yes. In the first week,
Technically.
the first week we were together, Your Honor, I had problems. I just came out of a relationship. I have my own kids. I've got custody of all my kids. Things just wouldn't rise to the occasion because of all the stress that I was going through. All right, but yet.
Oh, okay. You
But-
said that very respectfully. I understand.
But yet, now, the first month we're together, she's taking a pregnancy test every week, once, twice a week.
Oh, so you're saying even though you couldn't perform initially because of the stress, you see her taking pregnancy tests
Yes, ma'am.
during this first month?
Yes, numerous.
And so you're saying to yourself, it couldn't be me.
No, because before we got together, she was in a sexual relationship with another. Like a week prior to when we got together.
So, Ms. Davis, were you taking pregnancy tests that quickly?
No, I didn't take a pregnancy test until after he had left me and I had no way to contact him. I was staying in his house. The electricity got shut off. So I had to go stay with a friend of mine that helped me and my daughter out. And yeah, I continued to be friends with him even after David came back. And we stayed together even though he left me. And I took a pregnancy test because we went out for New Year's Eve, and after that's whenever I found out I was pregnant.
So you take the pregnancy test, you find out you're pregnant, and then what happens? You tell Mr. Simpson, what happens?
He was happy. He didn't seem to have any problems.
So you told him in person, you called him on the phone. Take me back to that day.
I told him in person, and he seemed happy, seemed fine with everything. He didn't seem to have any problems that I knew of. But I told him whenever we got together this time that I was going to be open and honest about everything. So I have not cheated on him.
So you were happy, Mr. Simpson, when you found out she was pregnant?
Yes, to an extent. I mean,
Okay.
I've had my doubts. I have to say, I've kept my doubts because I've always kept this past in my head where, you know, she's done it before, why not again?
So the past is the past, though. I mean, at some point, once you take her back and you rekindle the relationship, you have to allow the past to be the past.
Yes, but you don't go through the same coincidences over and over and
But
over.
you said the same flags were coming up
Yes.
and you thought she was
Yes,
cheating
ma'am.
again.
Like of the middle of the night, it's 11 o'clock of the night time, all right? I'm in the bed. She's getting up, walking out the door to go sit in the neighbor's car. She sits out there for 2 to 3 hours before she comes back in.
Okay, but nobody told him that he couldn't come out there. This is the same person that gave me and my daughter a place to stay. So yeah, I was still friends with him.
So wait, 2 to 3 hours in the car just sitting out front with a friend, Miss Davis?
I wasn't doing anything, just talking.
Why not just say, hey, come on by? And then, I mean, he's in the house, just come on by and talk and sit on in the living room.
Yes, ma'am.
Why you gotta be in the car?
Because he's too jealous.
I mean, let's be honest. You cheated 11 times before, or maybe not 11, but you admitted you cheated. Now you're sitting out in front of the house with another man having conversations for 2 to 3 hours. He's gonna think something's going on either way. I mean, are you trying to build the trust or tear it down?
No, I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, he's the one that's leaving and going and staying with his ex. He's the one that's letting his ex move in and kicking me out while I'm pregnant.
Wait, rewind. Rewind would be that way. You said he let his ex come live in the house with you all?
Well, no, he via text kicked me out while I was pregnant to let his ex-wife move back in to be a
this is
mother.
when you got angry when she got pregnant and you thought the baby wasn't yours.
Yes,
So
technically.
then you start showing out.
Well, it wasn't like that. I mean, it was, I didn't think she was able to be truthful, faithful, and
You lost hope at that point.
Yes,
After
and-
the thing in the car,
Yes.
it just felt like your life was replaying over again.
yes, I mean, it's like a book. You can only go through it so many times.
And so you decided at that point she's up to the old,
Yeah, the old tricks.
well, we
But-
won't say tricks, but
Well,
that
no.
the same old, we don't want that to be true.
No.
But you decide, this woman's just not for me. This is never gonna work. She's pregnant, it's not my baby, I'm gonna move on.
Yes, ma'am.
So were you didn't participate all in the
No,
pregnancy?
I've been here the whole time.
He didn't, did he or did he?
Yeah,
Was he there for the birth?
yeah, he was there for the birth.
I thought you had moved on.
If there's a chance I could possibly be the father, I'm going to stick it out.
So you decided I'm stepping up regardless. I have doubt, but I'm stepping up. All right. And so you get to the hospital. Beautiful baby is born. No, here's a
Beautiful.
picture. Beautiful baby is born. Do you sign the birth certificate?
No, they won't let me
Why?
because she's still married.
So you were willing to sign it, but they wouldn't let you because she was technically still legally married to somebody else, and because of that, baby Elizabeth has your last name.
Actually, I just refused to put his name on the birth certificate altogether.
You refused to put
My husband's.
and they let you do that?
Yeah.
So now Elizabeth is almost 2 years old. Mr. Simpson, what kind of relationship do you have with her? Oh, she's just gorgeous.
I mean, if you look at it, who couldn't have a relationship with her? I mean, she's everything.
Look at that smile. I see just instantly brought tears to your eyes, Miss Davis. What are you feeling looking at your beautiful little girl?
I mean, she loves him, and he's a good dad. I wouldn't want a better dad for her.
So why are the tears in your eyes?
Because, I mean, I just want all this to be done and over with, and that way we can move on with our life.
Yona?
Yes, sir?
And my doubts, I mean, she's beautiful. But, I mean, do you see the curly hair? And all my family's straight-headed. I've got Cherokee blood, and I don't know anybody in my family that, I mean,
You don't feel like she bears any resemblance to your family
No.
or the traits?
no.
You feel like her curly hair is something that
Yes. It's,
indicates to you that maybe somebody else could be her biological
yes.
father? So when you hold her and you hug her and you play
When
with
she's in my arms, that's all I think about. When I'm away, and I'm thinking, it's so hard. It hurts so bad just to not know.
So if Elizabeth is not your biological child, then what?
I don't know. She is my heart. The same as my other kid. I mean, you take my heart out and I'm not here.
It seems like you've been there through every milestone.
Yeah.
Are you saying to this court that after 2 years of being there for this beautiful baby, that you really aren't sure if you can continue to be in her life if she's not your biological child?
It would be hard. Because I wasn't told up front there was any possibility.
When you hear him say this, Miss Davis, if he's not Elizabeth's biological father, he doesn't really know if he can continue to remain in her life because you didn't talk about the paternity issue up front. That means the stakes are very high for this baby.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you would like to say or share, anything you have not told him?
I've been honest. I have nothing to hide. I haven't slept around with nobody. I've slept with one person. That was whenever we started talking, and he knew about that.
You said you slept with one person?
One person.
Is that why you were taking the pregnancy test when you first met him?
I do not remember taking no pregnancy test until after New Year's.
Ma'am, I'm sorry to
but
interrupt.
who knows?
I promise you, every week I was buying a pregnancy test when we first got together. And it was like, you know, it's like I was saying, I can't even have sex this week, but yet I'm gonna have a pregnancy test I gotta buy.
So as you're going to get these tests, you thinking, what is this about?
Yes. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not bragging on myself, but I love my kids and I'll take care of them till I die. I'm expecting settlement money coming in from an insurance. And I want to make sure everything's okay and she's not just wanting to use me as a father to a kid that could be somebody else's that would not be a good father.
So you believe there's a very real chance that the other man could be the father, but because you are going to get this settlement, she's trying to say that you're the father because she's witnessed what an amazing father you are, and she knows Elizabeth will be taken care of
Yes.
and provided for.
Will be.
Miss Davis, did you ever tell this other man that you slept with once, the one that you just said you slept with once, did you ever tell him about the pregnancy?
No. I didn't.
Do you
have a
know
reason.
where he is?
No. I haven't seen him since then.
So if he is Elizabeth's biological father, do you know how to reach him?
I'm sure I can find him.
Ma'am,
Well, go ahead, sir.
all I want is the truth.
And I have that for you. Jerome, the envelope, please. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Davis versus Simpson, when it comes to 2-year-old Elizabeth Davis, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Simpson, you are the father.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I got to get my baby. I got to get my girl. Thank you.
It is my honor and pleasure. I can see the relief. I see the joy.
Yes. That's how I like to say. They're my heart. I mean, they're everything. And she is a handful, but I love her.
Well, from what you've stated, she gets it from her mama.